Guys, this is Paul from Smart Easy DIY. Today I wanted to talk to you about my pole barn house and doing the steel siding on it. This is a steel board and batten siding made by True Cedar, and I'm going to talk about it later in the video. I just wanted to mainly make this video and show you what the siding looks like when it's all done, kind of talk about the process of putting it on and things like that. It's a little bit of a lengthy video just to give you a heads up, but I kind of want to talk about the different steps of installing it, kind of how it works. Then I'm going to be making a second video coming up in the future here after this video, and I'm going to talk about the tips and tricks that I learned about installing this stuff. There was quite a few things that I learned and that I wanted to pass on to anyone that is going to be installing some of this themselves. That one's going to be a lengthy video. It's also going to talk about cutting the siding, things that I found to make it a lot easier to cut it because it's a little different to cut than just regular steel. Anyways, so I just wanted to give you a heads up of what's coming up in the future on that video. And then let's go ahead and get started on this video and go through and show you the process of putting it up. Well, I did get my siding started here. Well, almost started. I wanted to document this quick. So in this case here, it looks like I have to do the outside corner first, and it's like a two-piece outside corner. So I wanted to show you this and I'll show you the other one. It's the same color as the siding and it just clips over the outside corner so you don't see any fasteners. You can see I got my J-channel around my window there, and I got my bottom piece started. I did end up using a different color one just because they were so expensive from this company, but you only see a little bit of it and it's pretty close to the same color, so it works for me. So I got my J around the windows and I got my J up there by the soffit. This is my outside corner here. I got it upside down, but you can see it just kind of clips in there. They're expensive, so you only want to have to cut it once and get it right. So the outside corner is on and the first piece of siding is on, and it looks so much better in real life even than on this video. Here's kind of a close-up of the siding. It's a really beautiful color. It's called English Saddle. This color in particular goes really well with the dark green on the roof and the fascia and soffit on this house. And yeah, I just love the color of it. So yeah, despite the camper being in the way and stuff, this is a really hard side to work on with the electrical and the water line for the camper, and just having it so close to the building, and just, you know, my first side that I was working on. Let's just all for a minute sit here and admire how beautiful this siding is. All right, maybe not a whole minute, but just admire it for a while. You can pause your video and just admire it. You should, really. Now I'm working on the other side here. You see I got two windows and a door here to work around. I got J-channel around them. So yeah, no tips or tricks here really, nothing fancy. I just did a straight cut like that. You can get fancy and do 45s and stuff, but I just did a straight cut like that on my J-channel. And of course up in the top there you run J-channel as well. All the way up, right up against the soffit. Here I ran a drip cap, and you can get it in the same color as the siding if you want in the English Saddle, but I chose to get a different color just because it was cheaper, because this is cheaper if you buy it by the case on this stuff, and I didn't need that much on that part, so I just got that from a different company. But it's pretty close to the color of the windows and stuff, so it'll be fine. So around my doors here, what I did, I'm gonna cap that later, either paint it or cap it with some kind of steel. But I just ended my drip cap right there and finished it off that way beside the door. Back on this side of the house, since I'm starting here and going that way again, opposite of the way that I did, but I wanna start on this front side on both sides and work that way. And so what I did is, over there, I got that big double door. So I wanted to measure and see if there's a way that I can make the battens come out better on both sides this time. So I found out that I can. I measured very carefully in 10-inch increments after I put the corner on here. I didn't put the outside part of it on, but just the inside part. And then I measured it and it comes out, if I move everything back 4.5, it comes out beautifully. So I'll show you what I did. I had showed the outside corner before on the other side, but here is kind of the inside part of, I got a two-piece corner and it goes in behind there. As you can see, it's kind of tucked in there, about a 3/4 inch. This way, and for this way, both ways. All right, so pardon the lighting, this is what I came up with for my starter piece here. So I needed this to be 4.5 off of the finish edge here, because that's what gets tucked into the corner there. So I measured back, this is 4.5 right to this inside corner here. But then what I did is I measured another 3/4 inch and made this lip here. So that way, I'll stand it up like this, you can see it. That way that'll tuck right in tight in the J-channel there, and it'll hold it so it can't flop, and I don't have to fasten it in there. That'll just tuck in right beside the corner there. So I'm gonna show you what I did there. And if you don't have anything better to bend your metal with, I found these Malcos here. They're a folding tool. I'll link to these where you can find these in the video description below the video. And also one of these whisk tools here. They're pretty handy to have. And just take it a little bit at a time, bend that baby like that. If you have something longer, then great, like a metal brake or something, but I don't have anything like that. I wanted to mention, I've mentioned in my previous videos, but I've used this Malco Turbo Shear. That works really well for these straight cuts up and down through there. You may need snips in some areas, but for straight runs like that, this thing works awesome. And I'll link in the video description below the video where you can get this for a really good price. I'll pass that along to you guys. Also a video that I made of this thing in action, I'll link to that up here in the corner up here, and also down in the video description below the video. One that I made of this in action. This is a really handy tool to have. It's time to install my first piece of siding here. This is the one that I cut. All right guys, I got my first piece installed. So I wanted to show it to you. If you can see back in there, it's beautiful. So it tucks right in behind there. It's nice and tight. You can see there's no slop there, so it's not gonna rattle. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna leave this outside corner off this time because I don't know what I'm doing yet for this side. I think I'm gonna start over there and come this way, so in case I need to pull this corner off, because I'm not sure how I'm gonna finish the end yet. I'm thinking the end one has to be fastened somehow. Maybe a few exterior screws that you can tuck in behind there where you don't really see it. That's just some thoughts. Okay, well now I'm ready to go, so wish me luck. Well, update time, it's a new day. I worked pretty late last night with the lights and I got over halfway. So now I'm on to doing more. Guys, so I'm finally ready to start siding on my gable ends here. And so what I wanted to show you here before I get started on my gable ends, I don't know if you remember up there in my corner there how it came out kind of funny. My corner trim had to stop right there because it's 10 foot and that's the longest that they make, these corner trims. So what I'm gonna do, there's a Z-metal they call it. What I'm gonna do is put my row of siding all along through there. Is actually gonna end up being 118, so 2 inches less than 10 foot. So I'm gonna make a jig and cut them all. And then there's a Z-metal that goes over top of that, sealed off for the water and stuff. And there's a batten trim that runs horizontally on top of that to separate the two pieces there. The guys, when they sold it to me, told me that I could just overlap it, but I was a little bit wondering about that. But when I get right down to it, this is the first time they've sold this. It's a fairly new product for this company. And so I had to consult the sales rep directly, and he told me that no, you have to have a transition piece. So what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna be able to put all this siding on all the way across, cut it all to 118. What I wanted to do, this is just for my particular case, is I wanted the siding to come out centered on the peak up there. You don't have to do this, but aesthetically I wanted to do it. So what I ended up doing, I set my ladder up, went all the way to the peak, and I leveled down with a level, actually 2 different levels to make sure they were agreeing. Got a mark right down here for my center line. So then you see all the marks there. I was just trying to figure out where it's going to be centered on the battens. You can see the double marks there on each side, the big doubles. That's where the batten's going to be centered. So the way it comes out in my case is what I can do is I can take most of the batten off over there in that finished corner, and I'm going to run this way, and hopefully it's going to come out pretty well in this other corner. So there's my scrap piece I was just testing it with. But as you can see, I don't know if you remember this corner here I had left off because I think I can put it on later in case I need to pull it in order to fasten that last one, because there's really no good way to fasten it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Well guys, it's a new day. Fresh snow has fallen. It's actually falling as we speak, but I wanted to just show you a quick update here. I got pretty far yesterday considering setting my jig up and everything. So I'm over halfway on this gable on the bottom part, and it's going really well. So I'll show you kind of when I get it further along. I wanted to show you quick on this corner how it came out. Came out with just a little strip right here, and I was able to just silicone this in place because there's really no other way to get in there to fasten it. So I siliconed it in place back in there, and it worked just great. Well guys, my siding is on hold. Can you guess why? You may or may not be able to guess why. Check out how much snow has fallen here. See, I'll resume this siding video once some of this goes away. Alright guys, I'm back at it doing siding on the house. And here what I'm doing on the gable ends, I found out that this trim piece here has to go on here. And if you don't put something under there, you can see the white siding from underneath. So I just ripped some strips, they're about 2 inches wide, and kind of tucked them in, going down through there. Nothing fancy because it'll all get covered. Except for, if you happen to look under in here, I don't know if you can see the greatest, it's kind of dark under there now, but you can just see brown, there's no white showing. So that's one trick that I learned that you pretty much have to do on the gable ends. So then next I put like this Z metal on the top after I put those brown strips under there. And then now I'm putting this batten trim horizontally here, along here. So that's what it looks like. Never mind the dust prints from my gloves. That's what it looks like. Then the siding goes next once I get that all on. Got my batten horizontally all the way across. I'll show you how I finished my corners out here. You can see under there, I ran it right there. I ran the Z metal even with the corner. And then I ran the batten trim all the way out. I tucked it up underneath the fascia a little bit. And then I ran that part, the J channel, behind there, and that kind of holds it. So I'm doing J channel right now. It's a little bit dirty right now from going through the winter, but overall it looks really good. It's holding up really well. So this is the back side of the house if you want to see what this end looks like. And again, the color looks really funny with the sun shining on it. The only thing back here, I put some vents in for my HRV system, my heat recovery ventilator system, for recirculating air in the house. So I had to kind of find some brown ones that kind of match. That's the best I could do. All right guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to be subscribed for future videos coming up as we go along on this pole barn house series. I'm gonna be doing videos coming up next about doing the inside work, building walls and things like that. So thanks a lot for watching guys. See you around.